Hello everybody, how you going? Welcome to our Sunday afternoon cook. And so today, as promised, we're going to make bacon and cheese bread rolls. This is one of the absolute family favourites. Again, really easy to do. The Thermomix does all the work for you. And it's just so easy and so delicious and incredibly cheap. So cheap compared to what you're going to be paying at places like Baker's Delight or Coles and Woolies. Really, it was about $3 or something for the flour, and that was a whole kilo of flour, and we don't use a great deal of it. So why don't we get started? So if anyone's here, say hello so I can see that I've got some people here with me. It would be great. Make a comment online or press the like button. That's great. So let's get started with our cheese and bacon rolls. So as usual, you just press the start button. Off we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some dried yeast. So just some yeast, easy peasy. In that goes with some sugar. So the sugar helps to feed the yeast. And then we're going to put about 280 grams of water into it. So I haven't got that ready because I'm a bit disorganised today. That's all right. So I've put in the yeast, I've put in the sugar. 280 grams, the scales come on automatically, one of my most favourite things about the Thermomix. Here we go, a bit more. In it goes. It's really hard reading it upside down. Well, it is for me. And a little bit over, not to worry. And then, got that, next button. So that's going to just mix that up now for 20 seconds. Lid's not on properly, thank you for telling me, and away we go. So, hi Linda, how you going? Thank you for tuning in. Linda, you would have to win the award of the most regular viewer. I think you've seen absolutely every one I've done, which is fantastic, and thank you, I really appreciate that. So we're just mixing this up, and it's going to activate that yeast, mix it all around, and it will be fantastic. Now we're going to put into it the bread flour, which is here. In we go, the bread flour. And I have already added into that the little bit of bread and I didn't weigh enough out before. I'll be back in a moment. Golly, honestly, I was sure it was 450. I'm going to have to sack myself. Anyway, not to worry. We get there in the end. Almost. There we go. And it ticks it off. We've got the bread improver in there. And we want a little bit of salt. In goes a little pinch of salt, which is there. And then we want a tablespoon of olive oil. Here is my tablespoon measure. One of those, a little bit of oil, in it goes. Done. Right, so now the fun begins. The machine is going to do all the work for us. It's just going to mix that up for 5 seconds. It is amazing what it will do in 5 seconds. Let's just have a look. That was 5 seconds, and look at that. Isn't that incredible how much it mixes it up in that very short period of time? It's just fantastic. And now it's going to do the kneading. And one of the great things is you don't need to worry about putting a dough hook in. It will just knead with the blade. It's fantastic. And it's going to just do a 3-minute knead. Something that I do want to tell you about is if you've got a Thermi or you're considering getting one, When you're kneading, stay with your machine, because there are times when your machine will walk. Simply because of the weight of the dough being pushed around in the bowl, it gets a little bit of a wobble, and sometimes, depending on the bench surface, it will go for a walk. So stay with it always while you're kneading. I have had a few people sort of say to me that they would love a thermi, but you can't get a second bowl blade and lid, and really they've got an old machine and they're happy to stick with that because they've got 2 bowl blades and lids with it. I've got some great news for you. You can now, from now on, at checkout, you can select a second bowl blade and lid for only $199. That is a significant saving on them. They are normally around the $400 mark, so that's quite a good saving. And you can get it, and it will come not with your machine, but it will come within the next few weeks, which is fantastic. The other great thing that we're offering at the moment as an introductory price is an extended warranty. How awesome is that? You know, I've had my thermis for about 4 years, the 6s. Never have I needed it, but sometimes things can go wrong. You get a 2-year warranty with the machine, and you can buy an extended warranty for $99 at the moment. It's just an introductory offer. So that is awesome. And that does things like, if you manage to strip the blades, which sometimes can happen when you do lots and lots of milling, lots of hard work, or if you don't chop the food up small enough when you put it into the machine, you will get a set of blades for free. If your machine, something dreadful happens, you drop it, I don't know, something terrible happens to it and it's going to take a while, there is the chance that you could get a replacement machine, which is fantastic. So if it's going to be a lengthy repair, you will be offered that, which is, you know, I think fantastic. What a great thing. And for $99, it's an absolute bargain. It's cheaper than the cost of the new bowl blade and lid set, so I think that's pretty cool. What do other people think? Any thoughts on that? Any ideas? No one's saying boo. Let me just check. Yes. So, hello. Welcome, Emma. It's your first time. Nice to see you. Hello, Janelle. How are you? Hello, Maria Baker. Hello. And yes, Linda, as we've already said. So, yeah, it's awesome. It's doing all the work, we don't have to worry about it, and it's fantastic. And the extended warranty is awesome. The second bowl blade lid is fantastic. And then from next month, if you host a cooking demonstration, that is a qualified demonstration. So that is one where it's you and people from 2 other households. So you only need to invite 2 friends, your neighbours on either side. You know, 2 friends, whoever. You had that demo, you can buy a second bowl blade and lid as a host reward, again at a discounted price. I can't tell you the figures off the top of my head. I'm a little bit unprepared this week and I do apologise for that. We've got lots going on here at the moment, and actually I've got friends here for lunch at the moment. They're outside on the veranda. I'm in here doing this with you guys. I'm actually enjoying this more than that. Okay, so it's kneaded. Let's have a look at what it looks like. So a 3-minute knead gets us this fantastic dough. It's done beautifully and perfectly. So that now needs to prove for about an hour. Fortunately, I was a little bit organised, not very, just a little bit, and I've made some dough about an hour ago. So let me get that and we'll have a look at what it's like. So I'm going to just need to move the Thermomix out of the way so I can work here. Okay, so here is the dough that has been proving for about an hour. And it's done a great job. It always proves beautifully. It is never, it's never a failure. That's what I'm trying to say. Goodness me, I am so not with it. So what we're going to do now is just take the dough, use the spatula to just chop it up. And look, this mat that it's on is a silicone baking mat. These are, hands up, anyone got one of these? Or has anyone seen them before? Put a comment there so we can just see what's going on. Who knows about them? Does anyone know? Has anyone seen them? No? All right. These are on sale at the mix shop. They're fantastic. I absolutely love these bread mats. They just are fantastic. As you can see, nothing sticks to them. They just are great for dough. They're great for rolling out pastry. Fantastic. They come all lined up. So if you wanted to roll a piece of pastry out to a particular size, it's got all the measurements there from 4 centimetres right up to 28 centimetres in size. So you get quite a lot with them. They're fantastic. And the other absolutely amazing thing about these is that you can use them to line a baking tray. So you don't have to use anything else. Use them and they will go into the oven. They do discolour, but it doesn't matter. They still do their job. They're fantastic. The other thing you can get is these are great ones also from the mix shop. So when I got these tins, they came with these baking mats, which are great for this. They're not designed for the pastry, but again, you don't have to worry about lining your baking tray with paper and wasting the paper. So if you're a little bit environmental, they're fantastic. So I'm just going to put those on there like that. When I work the dough, I roll it over so that all the seam is on the bottom, so that from the top, they look really good. You don't have the seams on the top. So you just get the dough, pull it like that, put it like that, and then make it into a little ball, and the dough sits on the bottom like that. Fantastic. Works super easy, super fun, and these are so delicious. And they're a great lunchbox filler for kids. They're great for after school. They're great for yourself when you're just feeling like you need a bit of a snack. Oops, what have I done? Drop the dough. Here we go. Roll it around again. So simple. I used to be quite scared of dough before I got my Thermomix, because I always felt that it was something that was mysterious and really hard to use, and you know, you've got to know exactly what you're doing. It's so easy to get it wrong and ruin it. Well, you know, I couldn't have been more wrong, really. I could not have been more wrong if I'd tried. The dough is not hard to do, and it always works really, really well. Here we go. I think I've made these too big, actually, because we should have more than this, but I will just rework some of these, make them a little bit smaller so that they all fit on there. Is anyone else? Yes, Maria, they're fantastic, aren't they? They are so good. Absolutely use it almost every day in this house. There's always a reason to use it. I love that I can just put my dough on it, wrap it around the dough, and the dough proves in it, and you don't have to worry it doesn't make a mess. Things don't stick to it. So I'm just going to resize some of these because I'm not very good at judging the amount I need. Doesn't matter. And you can see the dough is very forgiving. I used to always think that it wouldn't work, it would be a disaster, blah, blah, blah. Honest to goodness, not a problem. There we go. And I'll just move that around like that. Perfect. So, these are going to be so delicious. I can't wait to have them during the week for my lunch. They will be very delicious indeed. So who's thinking about having a cooking demo? Anyone? Anyone having thoughts about hosting a demo? Because we've got fantastic things. As I say, next month you can buy a second bowl, blade and lid. At the moment, if you host a cooking demo, you can get a thermo server for free. I think. Oh my gosh. You can get the thermo server as a host reward anyway, whether somebody buys or not. My memory is really shocking today. I hope it's not a sign of things to come with my advanced years, but who would know? Who would know? Now, that can be just a little baby one that sits there. There we go. And then we need to just, so the machine will tell us now, we need to let that, hold on, preheat the oven, divide into 12 pieces, yes. Right, no, we don't need to. I was a little bit worried that I needed to give them another chance to rise, but we don't. So here I've got some egg that I've just quickly beaten up, and I'm going to brush the top of each bread roll with that and squish it down a little bit. There we go. They get the most beautiful sheen on them, and they're just delicious. I think that these are actually better than the ones you buy at the shop. I really love them. Oh dear. So, yes, the thermosaver is free. Thank you, Corinne, I think it is. And Linda, you're going to try for next month. That is awesome. Let me know. Shoot me a message if you want to have a demo. I've got availability at the moment. I'd love to come to your place, cook for you and a couple of friends. It's always, you know, it's always fun. It's not hard to do. There's no pressure. There's no stress. I'm not a salesman. I just like to show you the machine, show you what it does, and show you ways that it can change the way that you cook in your house. So there we go. Done, easy peasy. Then onto these goes a little bit of bacon onto each one. Very simple. Very, very simple, like that. Not hard at all. On it goes. Yum. It doesn't matter if it falls off, because there'll still be plenty on there. Flatten it down a little bit to help it stay on. Squish it down. Delish. Yum. Who doesn't love bacon? That's what I want to know. How could you not love these? Bacon and cheese, just both delicious. Making a bit of a mess, but you know, that's life. Here it goes, onto here. Now, we've got the bacon on, and we need to get the cheese on. And so, because things have been a little bit busy here today with visitors for lunch and neighbours popping in and all sorts of things, I haven't got the cheese grated up yet. So, I'm going to show you how I do the cheese grating. Has anyone got the Cuppa Plus, or anyone seen it or heard of it? It's fantastic. I'm just going to put these over here out of the way while I get the grater. I'm coming back, I promise. I am coming back. Oh, I've just got to get I'm running out of space in my kitchen because I've got stuff everywhere. Okay, now I'm going to show you the Cuppa Plus and how that works. So we're just going to move things a little bit. I do apologise for being a bit disorganised today. I'm sorry about that, folks. Here we go. Turn it around. So this is the Thermomix Cuppa Plus. It's called the Cuppa Plus because it's a cutter plus a spiraliser. So it opens up lots of different cooking activities. This is the drive shaft, and it just sits over the blades and locks in place. And then this is the bowl that sits there. So inside your Thermomix bowl doesn't actually get dirty when you're doing it. This is the blade. So it's got two sides to it. Grate for grating, slate for slicing. Simple as. You can do a thick grate or a thin grate, a thick slice or a thin slice. The thick grate is just like when you use your box grater and you grate something, it comes up fantastically. You can grate a kilo of cheese in, honestly, under a minute. It is amazing how fast it does it. However, let me tell you what I did very cleverly. So excited when I got this. Cheese was on special. I bought a kilo of cheese. I grated it up. I put it in the fridge. And then a few days later, I had to throw it all out because I didn't realise that the grated cheese you buy at the shop is full of desiccants that keep it dry and stop it from going mouldy. So what I learnt very quickly from that was if cheese is on special and I want to grate a heap of it up, I will either vacuum seal it or I will freeze it so that it's it keeps, and it's fantastic. So we're going to be grating, so I'm going to put the grey side up, and that goes on like that. So to do the grating, we have to just go back to the blades and into the functions area of the machine, and here we're going to do grating. And it's awesome. It just asks you, what do you want? You want a thick or a thin grate? I want thick. And I'm just going to take out the pusher. Here's some cheese that I have chopped into big blocks. And I'm going to turn this on. And there we go. That's 5 seconds and that cheese is grated up. Amazing. It is so quick and it's so fantastic. I love it. A little bit gets stuck there. That's okay. Put that in the sink. And look at that. This cheese is grated up in no time. It's fantastic. So easy. Absolutely fantastic. Love doing it. Does anybody have a cutter? Oh my gosh. Hello, Rachel. How are you? I am having a good day. And Janelle, do you use yours much, your Cutter Plus? It is fantastic. I just think it's the best thing. So here we go. And I'm just going to now sprinkle these quite generously with cheese because really, you can never have too much cheese, can you? Chuck the cheese on. Very simple. And you know, the great thing about these silicone mats is, yes, I can see you're probably getting the hint that I am a bit of a sloppy cook and I do make a bit of a mess with stuff. But these mats are fantastic because once it all comes out of the oven, you just wipe it off and give it a wash in some hot soapy water and it's ready to go again. You don't have to worry about it too much. Here we go. A little bit more cheese here. These will be so delicious. So these are going to go into the oven. I've got the oven heating up. I don't have a batch that I've made already, so we'll do what we've done the last few weeks when I've made some things in the oven, is that we'll come back in a little while and I'll post the photos and you can have a look and see what the end result is. But honestly, they are so absolutely delicious. Can't wait to make these. To eat them, I mean. They're just fantastic. Oh, Janelle, you need to use it. It's fantastic. The cutter for the 6, yeah, it's very similar to the cutter for the 6, and it's great. Upgrading, you know what? Who's thinking about upgrading? Anyone? Because it's a big decision to make, absolutely. And can I tell you that a little thing happened way back last year, this time last year. A group of the senior people from Thermomix were taken over to Berlin for the launch of the TM7. And our branch manager came back from that and she said to me, oh my God, it's amazing. It's so quiet. And I went, oh yeah, whatever. And she said, no, I was standing next to it and I didn't know it was on. And I went, how drunk were you? I thought she must have been drinking. But honestly, it is so quiet and it is just fantastic. Think about it seriously. It is awesome. Just love it. Today I've been using my 6 as well. And let me tell you, when I use the 6, I feel like I'm stepping back in time. It's like, oh God, it's nowhere near as easy as using the 7. They're both fantastic though. Just love my Thermomixes and I love the Thermomix community and the people that I've met. It is fantastic. Oh, great, Janelle. I'm glad you're going to use it. It's fantastic. If you've got any issues using it, Janelle, reach out. I'm happy to chat with you. I'm happy to come over and, work through some recipes with you to help you get going with it, because I'm really very strongly of the belief that people need to use their machines. There is no point having it and have it sit in the cupboard. You know, you've spent a lot of money buying a machine, you've spent money buying the cutter, so use them to the fullest and make the most of how they can change your life. Okay, so look, these are ready to go in the oven now. So probably, I think it's about 20 or 30 minutes they cook for. Check back online, just like we've done the last few weeks. We'll put them pictures online of the finished cooked product and I cannot wait to get one of these. So next week, we're doing our final in the baking, and then starting in April, we're only going to be doing 3 because Easter's there and I'm going to be away for Easter. So next month, the focus is about pantry staples that can save you money. So I'm going to be doing things like, so if you have a Thermomix, you probably know this. If you don't, this might be, of interest to you. You can make your own caster sugar, your own icing sugar, your own brown sugar. Really simply in your machine. It's just as easy as could be. We're going to do those sorts of things. We're going to make sweetened condensed milk that honestly costs next to nothing. We're going to make a chocolate hazelnut spread. So there is that commercial brand that all the kids love. This is really easy, really cheap, tastes just like it, and you've made it yourself. You know it's not full of nasty preservatives and chemicals. So I think that these sorts of things are really important and things that we need to be doing more of together. If you've got some homemade, some pantry staples that you are thinking, I wonder if we can make it in the Thermomix, send me a message, pop it in the chat there, and I'll see if we can work something out next month. In the meantime, let's go, and thank you everybody for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will let you know how delicious these are. All right, bye everybody. Thanks. Bye.